contains graphic material, including offensive language. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good evening, folks. Welcome back to another epic edition of Destroying Kayfabe. I am your host, as always, CM Styles. Along with me today is my broadcast panel, my team. I got Charles Smith over here on the line. Also, Baby Gallows, King Brick Wall, and also, as always, I got my team of the Show Claw, Austin Hollis and Daniel V. Welcome to the show, fellas. It's great to have you guys back. Tonight we are covering WWE SmackDown, which was live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. My favorite city of all time, let me tell you. Every time they come to Pennsylvania, they always deliver, and that's exactly what they did tonight. I must say, with this being the go-home SmackDown, going into Money in the Bank, I guess we could call these cliffhangers and some build-ups going right into this pay-per-view. I can say I enjoyed this very much. I wish they would have made this a 3-hour show. Just kidding. Raw is painful enough with 3 hours, but we still get our entertainment out of that. But without any further ado, let's go ahead, pass this around to you guys, get your thoughts on this, and then we'll get the show underway. Starting with you, Charles. How did you feel about tonight's SmackDown? Might be having technical. You still there with us, Charles? Alright, well, we're going to wait for him to come back here in a minute. We're having
the SmackDown is kind of challenged for.
You're breaking up there, Charles.
Oh, man.
I blame it on the network. Alright, well, we wait for you to reconfigure. We'll go ahead and give it the brick. What did you think about tonight's show?
It was not a bad show. I had a couple of good matches, but mainly it was just the build up for the pay-per-view this Sunday. Yeah, pretty much that's all it was.
Yeah, absolutely, and of course, you know, during that show, Brickwall here, along with his team over at PWF, got in touch with a future Hall of Famer and a WWE legend's son, David Finlay. That was pretty cool of you guys to have him on there. So I was flipping between SmackDown and your podcast there. And I must say it was a very good show. He was very informative.
He's very smart about the business.
And all he cares about is wrestling, nothing else.
Yeah, all he cares about getting to the top in the indies and, show what he's got.
Absolutely, and we're going to have to talk about him another time, about all that stuff that went down. Hell, I wouldn't mind having him on the show in the future as well, just because of all the stuff that he was talking about. But yeah, I wouldn't hire him anywhere else except for wrestling, because he'd probably body slam an employee and cut promos on a freaking phone somewhere. But
you said you had something wrong with this.
Absolutely. But yeah, let's go ahead and get your thoughts on this show, Claus. Starting with you, Austin. How did you feel about tonight's show?
I thought it was a fairly decent SmackDown. I mean, it's a SmackDown that you want to see before getting into a pay-per-view like Money in the Bank.
Absolutely. Lion Claw.
Good SmackDown, building up to the pay-per-view, trying to catch up what they missed on Raw, perhaps. They want to get the last little bit in, but I was impressed.
It's just like, man, every time you're going into a pay-per-view, you got to find a way to bring it out with a bang. We saw Raw on Monday night, talked about how Roman Reigns became supreme at the end of that. That's pretty much what we want to talk about at the end of this show as well. But let's go ahead and talk about this opening segment where we have the Authority coming out, where it's Triple H, Randy Orton and Seth Rollins, and they were pretty much talking about the whole Money in the Bank scenario that's going on. You know, Plan A is for both of those guys to successfully capture gold in the case, which also led to a little intensity between both Randy Orton and Seth Rollins. And of course, you know Orton, how he is, hothead on a mic, loves to say how he's ready to kick someone's ass. Basically, he's going to do the same thing to Seth if he picks up the win at Money in the Bank. So, with that being said, I'm going to say, just like how we saw the Usos and Wyatts on Monday night, it's going to be a 1-1. But the thing is, we're going to have to split that dividend down to 1-0. One of these guys is going to bring the titles out. The other one's going to come out with a case. But who's going to come out with it, we don't know. What did you guys think about this? Charles, you're there with us now.
Yeah, can you hear me good?
Yeah, we got you, man. We got you.
Excellent.
All right, yeah, so we're talking about the opening
Sorry
segment.
about that.
How did you feel about this opening segment?
The opening segment with Rollins and Orton and Triple H, the
Yes.
Authority. I love it. If you noticed, you've seen Orton and Rollins kind of glaring at each other out the corner of their eyes. You know, the whole time that they were talking about the possibility of Orton winning belts and the possibility of Rollins winning the Money in the Bank. And, you know, all in all, I think at the end of the day, ambition is going to exceed loyalty.
Absolutely. You know, they always say implode or explode. And, you know, just like many groups, just like this, we can see a breakdown right after the pay-per-view. Brick, how did you feel about this opening segment?
Oh yeah, it was a really good opening segment. It seemed like there was a little crack between Rollins and Orton, but Triple H said pretty much we're here to get gold and the briefcase, pretty much to calm them down. If Orton doesn't get the title and then you got Seth might cash in on Orton, and then that's gonna end up into a feud, maybe. I don't know. Seems like it.
Yep.
Absolutely. Go ahead with you, Austin.
Yeah, good promo to start off SmackDown. Like Brickwell said, maybe a feud after all this. I wouldn't mind seeing that, because that would I figured that'd call for some high quality match, you know, maybe even SummerSlam. But the whole promo was great. An awesome way to start off the show.
Absolutely. Lion Claw.
Yeah, just like they said, with Triple H's quote unquote master plan or whatever, where Orton winning the titles and Seth Rollins winning the case, he failed to realize that, okay, Rollins can cash in on Orton at any time during the year. And you know they've had history, Shield and Authority don't always get along, so yeah, and then he brought up the trust word. Oh man!
You know, CM. It seems like, regardless of side, if Shield member or former Shield member is on, it seems like Randy Orton gets to their skin.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, if there's anyone that knows how to do that, it's Randy Orton himself. Being the apex predator, although his gimmick is very annoying right now for some reason, and it's just not, you know, it's not working.
Everything's
Stale.
handed to him right now, though. He's not even working for it. He's just like, here you go, Orton.
You know, it's just like what a superstar like Billy Graham would say. You know, these guys, yeah, they're tremendous talents, but sometimes you watch it and then you get in your mind that, you know, you're sick of seeing it because you've seen it before. They're repeating history. It's just downright boring, and because promos aren't, you know, they aren't the best anymore. I'd rather watch him put someone in a headlock for 5 hours than hear him cut a promo. Seeing that's pretty much his only move in the set.
Same old shit.
But yeah, you know, but of course after this promo, Triple H also mentioned in it that they were going to see Dean Ambrose tonight, but you know, it's not going to be against Seth Rollins or any member of the Authority. But instead he follows it up with, well, I'm afraid I got some bad news for you. I mark out every time he says that now.
Yeah,
Triple H.
absolutely.
He can do it just about as good as B&B can.
Yeah, when you think about it, when Triple H came into the WWE, back when it was the F, his gimmick was
John
pretty
Paul
much act all
Levesque.
British. He had a European gimmick, and
Yeah.
it worked. And now look at him. Instead of doing that, he's pretty much self-proclaimed as the game, and now he's the COO.
Yep.
But to do what he does still, man, I get entertained by it. I love it. It's great. It fits him. But out comes Wade Barrett, and he squares off against Dean. This is pretty much a solid match. This is all about Ambrose, though. I'm surprised they actually gave Ambrose the time to actually get put over by Wade Barrett. As an IC champion, you're usually supposed to be, wrestling and winning, but he seems to be on his losing streak every time he has the title. Up until it comes to defending it, and then he wins it, he keeps it. But they've also been doing that with a bunch of other champs as well. But this match right here, he beats him with the what is that called, the Dirty Deeds?
Yeah.
He nails the Dirty Deeds on him. The winner of that match, Dean Ambrose. Afterwards, we hear Swagger's music hit, and he goes down. And just as it looks as he's ready to attack Dean Ambrose, he goes after Wade, or Bad News Barrett. And the only reason why he does that is because we see a replay prior to the match where Barrett attacked Swagger and I believe it was RVD during WWE main event. And he basically came out there, he attacked him. During that attack, there was a bad spot. He threw him into the soft padding, and then the second one, he threw him right into it, through his shoulder. So he separated his shoulder, as we already knew prior to all this, before the show went on, that he separated his shoulder during that match, or during the end segment. And we could tell that he was legit hurt because he was actually tapping Swagger's leg, saying no more, that was enough. So he did the right thing right there, and Swagger did the right thing by stopping as well. But we see Ambrose come out there with a suicide dive. So that was pretty good to end that segment. What did you guys think about that with you, Charles?
Oh, man, I thought it was excellent. I liked the match as well with Ambrose and Barrett. Not as quite as a solid match as what Barrett and Ziggler had Monday night.
Oh, absolutely.
But, that's one of those matches and two guys that it's going to be hard to emulate because they work so well together. Not to take anything away from Ambrose because he's excellent as well. We haven't really seen Ambrose and Barrett in the ring together a whole lot. We've kind of seen that a couple times tonight with Kane and Reigns as well. Get to that later, of course. But it was a good match. Sad to see Barrett get injured, and know that he's not going to be a part of the pay-per-view now. And knowing that and watching this, it kind of made everything a little anticlimactic as far as he was concerned. But, all in all, it was solid. I enjoyed it. I always enjoy just anything because whether he's in the ring or he's cutting a promo. He's a solid guy. And Ambrose is growing on me. I've had some things to say about him in the past, but I love his in-ring work. His promos are getting better. He's something to come, just like Rollins, just like Reigns, man. Those guys are the future.
Absolutely. All right, Brick, your thoughts?
Oh yeah, it was a good match between Bad News Barrett and Dean Ambrose. Of course, you got Jack Swagger injures somebody else again, like he did to Ziggler with a concussion. But he'll probably get punished for that. But who knows?
Yeah, and the thing is, I really don't know. You could punish the guy, but he's pretty much punished enough by jobbing to guys like,
Bo Dallas.
Bo Dallas is jobbing just everybody.
You could have him job to Xavier Woods.
Actually, no, he'll job to the bunny.
Yeah.
So that right there, they'll give him the bunny, and he'll be on. Shit just got real. But Austin.
It was a good match. Like Charles said, not as solid as the match we saw Monday. But for Ben Barrett being injured, it really sucks because I would have win that match and get a little push. It's really disappointing to see him get injured.
Absolutely. Claw.
Yeah, like you said, it was a solid match, and man, that spot you could tell that hurt like a mug, man. I mean, you could tell he was in pain for real. And for Ambrose to just jump all over Swagger, that was funny. But y'all forgot that that Seth Rollins came out at the end and he pulled one of Ambrose moves at the end of it. So
That's
like, hey,
right.
I could be I could come out from nowhere too. So I mean, that's just another build up to their feud.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see that. This Money in the Bank's right around the corner. Less than 48 hours away, and the focus on that match is going. The ladder match is going to be just Ambrose and Rollins. Everyone else is just pretty much, as we call in the gaming world, DLC. So yeah, we get extra content in one match, but I can't wait to see what happens there. Maybe we'll see a swerve, and not Shane Strickland, but it'd be great to see. It'd be great to see him in the WWE one day.
Oh man,
Absolutely.
And those who have not watched last night's interview, feel free to check it out on the Destroying Kayfabe YouTube page at youtube.com//solidboss0824. Everything's uploaded there. Once I have everything I downloaded onto my computer, I will transfer it to the new Destroying Kayfabe page, where everyone can resubscribe if you want, or we'll just continue to keep it on that page right there because it has the most views and subscribers anyway. But yeah, we'll go ahead and move into the next match. Oh man,
Paige.
Divas action as we had Divas Paige go up against Cameron. This is just bad brew right here. A couple weeks ago, Cameron pretty much took a shot at her, cutting a promo backstage in an interview. It seems to be all about Cameron right now. Cameron is, when you think about it, he's trying to act like a clone of Alicia Fox.
Yeah.
And, of course, she follows all up her promo with a slap to the face. Paige pretty much wipes a slap all over her face and smirks or smiles, however you want to call it. But this match right here, I wasn't too thrilled about it, and I don't know why. It was just, it was a Divas match. We got to see these girls get their hands dirty, but the match just didn't feel right for some reason. Maybe because,
Cameron.
Again, for like the fourth time.
Cameron got dealt with. That's
Cameron
only.
is just. She's just not. She's
That was
just
a
not what
squash.
I'm
That was
expecting her
a
to be.
female squash match.
Cameron, isn't this the same girl that says her favorite match is Melina versus Alicia Fox? The greatest match of all time? I mean, come on. This girl has, like, no personality whatsoever. She's just downright boring. She's like the female Randy Orton right now. No offense, Randy. I'm a Randy Orton guy, but... I mean, she tries to emulate other characters, and she's doing a piss poor job at it. There's no advice that you can pass to her at this moment of time. But we see that she is trying to turn heel, and at the end of the match, after she gets hit with the Page Turner, we see a little confrontation in the ring between her, Naomi, and Cameron, and it's just. It was brutal. It was bad. It was just like a little cat fight, and then out of nowhere, Cameron shoves Naomi, and Paige pretty much turns around and she gets in her face. And I'm thinking, why would you want to get in your opponent's face when Cameron is the one that shoved you? What happened to that logic right there? Your friend just pretty much screwed you over on this, and you're going to end up taking out the wrong person. So, come Money in the Bank, I think we're going to see a full heel turn with Cameron. If they put Naomi on her side as well, then this is creative really dropping the ball on this, because there's no reason to turn both girls heel. But, all right. We'll go ahead and give it to you, Charles. How did you feel about this awful match? Hey, I'm not being I'm not being biased at all. I'm just calling it as it is. I just didn't enjoy it.
He doesn't know what to say, just like,
It's like, say, hey, let's pass it to the next person because he's
Don't
speechless.
worry. I got something to say.
But
So yeah, no comment to Paige versus Cameron, Charles.
oh yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry, I cut out on you a little bit.
It's all good. It's all good.
I got you. Real quick, the girl improves every week. What a worker. Love her. You know what? All instead of just commenting on the match itself, I'll say this: the Divas division is watered down. You have too many, and what's indicative of the reason you have too many, or what is a good example of you having too many, is the fact that you have divas like Cameron, who are underdeveloped, who really don't have a character, and you know, as little as you use them, I mean, they may have a match or two on a Monday night or on a Friday night, and then maybe a match or two on a pay-per-view. Why are there so many?
Absolutely.
You know, I would think that you can minimize the collection of divas that you have, minimize the total, develop these girls character-wise, and then go at it from there. You know, you have a smaller unit, but you have a more developed unit. I think that it could serve a whole lot better purpose if they did that.
Yeah, and you know, now that we're speaking about divas, with this Money in the Bank around the corner, we have 2 divas matches on the card.
Yeah.
And I mean,
One's
that's a
actually-
shocker. That's not
It is.
the first time I've actually seen 2 divas matches in one big event like this. And I'm thinking, wow, WWE's going all out with that one. It's gonna hit them in their piggy bank though, because one's a title defense and the other is the other one's a love triangle match, because we're gonna see whose side Fandango takes, because he's a special guest referee in this match. So I think we're going to see him turn on Layla.
Yeah.
And go their own way.
Which means we could possibly see a face turn for Fandango now.
Yep.
I think that's what we're going to see.
That's what that's what the universe needs right now. It's just his gimmick got boring after a while, and if you want the crowd to go over with him, do him as a face and have a modified, like, throw some dubstep into his music or something. I don't know. But
Yeah, do something.
But yeah, Brick, go ahead. Let's get your thoughts on this Paige Cameron.
The match was alright. I mean, I'm just happy Paige kicked her ass again for the 4th time in a row, but you know what I mean? But Cameron's just a horrible wrestler. She's undeveloped. She needs to go back to NXT and get trained again. Other than that, Paige is gonna win this Sunday, and we're probably gonna see a story where she turns on her own fucking tag team partner.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and give it to you there, Austin. Austin.
Not really much to say about this match. I mean, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not really much to say on this match. I mean, you know, I like Paige a lot, but, you know, the whole Cameron thing, I'm just not digging it. We'll see how things go this Sunday.
Yeah, I'd rather watch paint dry than watch her cut a promo and wrestle, so...
Oh, yeah.
Lion Claw.
Yeah, I mean, this was your basic female squash match. Cameron, I mean, she had no business in the ring after getting her ass kicked, what, 3-4 times already?
Yeah,
And still talking junk and going, you know, like you said, you know, like a wannabe Alicia Fox. And we also found out Naomi is actually better than Cameron on the mic, too. So, I mean, she can't do anything out there, really.
Naomi
So-
has got it all. I mean, Naomi
I mean, Naomi and Paige, that should be an epic women's wrestling match. I mean, they're both talented, well-developed characters. I mean, I'm looking forward to that one. But, I mean, Cameron, I mean, going back to Total Divas or something.
Yeah, keep them on there, fire. It's just, I'm not into her character. I don't know why Vince is even hiring half of these, you know.
You know, one thing, CM, that I'd like to say with that whole thing, with him wasting time on somebody like Cameron, drop her back down to NXT, bring Charlotte up to the main show, and let's get
Thank
some
you.
Yeah, you know,
Thank
here's another
you.
thing that disappoints me. They should have kept Oksana and released Cameron. Just
Yeah.
because there's a Funkadactyl team doesn't mean you can keep Funkadactyls together.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean,
And they aren't really acting like a team right
look
now.
at 3MB. These guys, they were a comedy act for, but they broke up the band, and why not get rid of a Funkadactyl? They could apologize to Oksana. She could wrestle. She had the moves, and
Yes.
the WWE dropped the ball on that one. She was utilized well. I never saw her as an unsafe worker. She just sucked in the mic. But the thing was, she's green on
She
the
had
mic.
talent.
She
Yeah.
has an accent, so it's difficult for her to try to cut a clean promo. And of course, we got Lana, so we got a Russian versus a Romanian. So of course they went with hashtag you know what, and kept Lana around. So, but yeah, we'll go ahead and get into our next match, which was the longest match of the night, honestly, and I enjoyed it very, very much.
Oh, we actually had Spot in there first, though.
Say again?
Harper and Rowan actually cut a promo in between that.
Yeah, and it was just nuts because we have Sheamus versus Bray Wyatt. Very solid match. Let me tell you, these two had some really great in-ring psychology. Everything worked well. We even had the Usos out there just to prevent any further interruption or interference in the match. Let me tell you, these two guys, they can go. They can freaking go.
Yes, they can.
Sheamus used his whole arsenal, and it was only a matter of time where Bray wore him down to the point where Sheamus came back and hit him with the, I guess we could call it, I'm calling it the Texas Cloverleaf because the way he calls it is just, the Irish Clover or whatever. I can't remember how he calls it.
Yeah,
now,
it's from David Finley.
Yeah.
But yeah, he hits him pretty much with a Texas Cloverleaf, and that brings both Eric and Rowan into the ring, leading to a disqualification. But we saw the Usos and Sheamus clean house. Bray almost tastes a boot to the face, but he quickly escapes the ring. I must say, these guys are going to have one hell of a match at Money in the Bank, especially with the tag titles on the line for the Usos. It's just, man, so much intensity. That was a good build-up going into this. They've been building them up for quite some time. So they're at least giving the tag team division somewhat of a little importance compared to what we're going to see with the other two ladder matches. Everything else, on the other hand, has been just, we'll brush it off on the side and we'll see how it goes from there. But let's go ahead and get your thoughts on this one, Charles.
Oh, man. It's like you said, excellent match. I really enjoyed that. Man, those two actually had some really good in-ring chemistry together. I would actually like to see Sheamus and Bray Wyatt wrestle again, to be honest with you. It was that good of a match. I enjoyed it anyway. Sheamus, I've been kind of not down on him, but just kind of bored by him in recent weeks. But the last couple of weeks that I've seen him in the ring, Monday night in the ring in the match, he was good. He was interesting in the ring tonight. It's like you said, he can go, and we know Bray Wyatt can go. It was a real good match, real good spot, real good segue into the pay-per-view. It was just one of the possible dynamics that they, kind of displayed as far as the pay-per-view goes. It was good, real good match, quality match, best match of the night.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and give it to you, Brick.
Yeah, it was a good match. I'm sure had good chemistry in that match. I mean, it was good. It was good build up to Money in the Bank for the tag team titles with the Usos outside the ring and Wyatt family. So, yeah, it was really good.
All right. Give it to you, Austin.
Awesome match last night that we saw tonight. I mean, like we said, these guys have unbelievable chemistry in the ring. With these two being in the Money in the Bank match this Sunday, it's going to lead to some awesome moments. But like Charles said, this match of the night goes to this.
All right. Claw.
Really awesome match. I mean, then you had the Usos and the Rowan and Harper. I'm like you. I want to call them the Harpers for some reason. But I mean, you could tell that they're intense about their match, and Man, I mean, yeah, I would like to see Sheamus and Bray Wyatt back in the ring because I mean they worked outstanding. That has to be match of the night, if anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, just man, I marked out in this match. I was just like, man, I wouldn't mind seeing these two in a 30-man Iron Man match.
No, not at all.
I would say
think
60
they were that
minutes, but
good.
man, I think that'd be dragging with both of their characters. I mean, I'm sure they could do it, but you know, with Sheamus, he's been in long enough to do it. But Bray, he still has, you know, he still has a lot more to work on. I mean,
He does.
you know, to just give himself more prestige to his gimmick. I just would hate to see him get repackaged after all this falls over, because sooner or later, that's how they do it in WWE.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll go ahead and move into our next match, which is, which I thought was pretty confusing, as we have two men that are getting ready to go into the Money in the Bank briefcase match against two guys that are going for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in that ladder match. So we had a mix of two different matches with two different, four different stars, as we have RVD and Dolph Ziggler up against Alberto Del Rio and Cesaro, which was an excellent match as well. Very short, sort of. I think it was about like a 9-minute match. It was all Dolph in the beginning, and then at the end we saw a lot of Cesaro, and actually they used a little bit of teamwork, not a whole lot. They've been having their little disagreements because on Raw he said he would speak to Del Rio, but he doesn't speak loser. So that kind of left the impression, but they worked all right together. We saw Del Rio hit the cross arm breaker, and that forced RVD to submit. The winners of this match was Cesaro and Del Rio. Afterwards, you see Del Rio in there. He's pretty confident and cocky about how he wins this, or how he won that match. And then you just see him get hit with a neutralizer, and the crowd was pretty much marking out for that. So, yeah, this is a decent match. I enjoyed it very much. Better than that Divas match. Let's go ahead and give it to you, Charles. What did you think?
That was a good match. I mean, you have four quality top shelf performers in the ring with RVD and Ziggler and Del Rio and Cesaro. Man, Cesaro week in and week out impresses the hell out of me. How strong is this guy really?
He is
I
a
love to know.
powerhouse, man. That is raw strength. Not 1 ounce of wellness violation on him at all.
No, he's just an athlete. He's an athlete amongst athletes. Ziggler is Ziggler. Ziggler's amazing every time he gets in the ring. The guy can work. The guy can sell. He can bump. I mean, he's a consummate performer, and he's a throwback. He works his ass off in the ring, and you gotta love watching him. RVD, even though he's lost his step, still works good. Still, every time he hits that rolling thunder, man, it takes me back a few years, and I enjoy the guy. Del Rio's a good performer. He's kind of stale, but he's still good in the ring. Love the match all in all. I'd like to see a Ziggler-Cesaro one-on-one matchup of some sorts. I think that would be interesting to watch.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and give it to you, Brick.
Yeah, it was a good match. RVD impressed me. They all impressed me. RVD impressed me on NXT too, so he's working a little better. But the match was good. I liked it.
Awesome. Go ahead and give it to you. Show off.
Good. It was a good match but it was a short match, like you said. I mean, Cesaro, he impresses me a lot, and I'm pretty sure that I'm not sure how over he is now, but I think in the future he's going to make it more. He's going to be more over. But yeah, these four put on a solid match.
Well, like I say, I'm just going to go with it here. He uses I'm going with the old name of Claudio Castagnoli. I enjoyed his ROH work, and now he's in the WWE with the Cesaro gimmick, and just watch some best in the world, some ROH. Plenty of DVDs here. I'll even broadcast them one day for you guys, and you can watch his work there and see how he performs.
You watch it do a fucking road.
Let me tell you, this guy is a workhorse. He is a beast. Especially
really
when,
is.
Especially
He
when they
really
had
is.
ROH versus CZW, and he was in the CZW. So this guy had
Wow.
Combat Zone Wrestling in it, in his resume.
Wow.
Yeah, this guy is a beast, dude. So yeah,
He's the real deal.
this is going back to early 2000. So,
Yeah.
and the best part is, I didn't even get to watch all that stuff because I was in the military for almost 7.5 years. So I missed out on a lot. I was making up for it when I came home. Everyone was introducing me to the indies again. I was trying to break into it. So yeah, let's go ahead, give it to you, Lion Claw.
Yeah, it was a good match. I mean, four talented guys. Cesaro, like you said, I mean, he is a monster in the ring. I mean, who knows how strong he could be. Ziggler, I mean, yeah, I also agree with Charles. They need to have a match together. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Cesaro wins the thing.
It's
Hey,
quite possible.
I'd give it to him. But, he still has to worry about Sheamus, Bray, Randy Orton, Kane, and Cena. And don't forget,
They might be too worried about everybody else. That might be that swerve move for the night.
yeah, I mean, there's gonna be
Never
so
know.
much. There's gonna be so much focus, and the Money in the Bank is unpredictable. I've been reading
Yeah.
spoilers. People are spoiling because we saw the SummerSlam spoiler. The thing was, they didn't say if it was gonna be for the title or not. But the thing was, it's already booked. It's going to happen. So we're going to see we might see a return of someone Sunday night. If they go with that plan right there, that'd be awesome.
That spoiler's fake, by the way. That poster was from Extreme Rules 2012.
Really?
I also had a question about that little segment before. With Stardust and Goldust. Is there going to be another match booked for the Money in the Bank?
Oh yes. Goldust and Stardust against Ryback. That has been booked. So yeah,
Wow.
that's an impromptu match. Yeah,
That should be too bad.
Is that a pre-show?
no, I believe the pre-show was going to be the Divas match with Layla and.
Oh.
Yeah, that's pre-show quality.
Which I would call it pre-show quality. I call it botchamania because I wouldn't want that on the main card. But that's just me. But we also had the opener with Daniel Bryan where he's going to speak out. So maybe we'll see a heel turn from Daniel Bryan.
That could be interesting.
Hey, you know what? After the whole yes movement thing, it's not all about yes, but you guys said yes to everything, and now here I am recovering because you wanted me to go yes. I would have the best way to turn him on the crowd. I mean, if I was Daniel Bryan, I would. They need some good heels now. Do a couple heel turns because they just did a bunch of face turns just within these couple weeks during all these releases. Now they're like, oh, we got rid of all these heels. Now we got to get some guys to put over. And when these guys come back, he can come back as a heel, and the crowd will remember. If they mark out when he comes back, then there's a problem. But that's what you call corrupt WWE universe. But all right, let's go ahead and move into this next match. Disaster Fest, as we have Rusev facing off against that one.
God.
I can't keep my job properly, Sin Cara. I think I missed a Lana promo, but it's always about the same thing, putting over, President Vladimir Putin, and talking about how we have a weak country over here and a weak leader. We get that already. You want us to chant USA, we go ahead and we take a crap over the guy. Why don't we just start singing the Russian national anthem or something like that and see where that goes and see what Vince thinks, because he'll realize the crowd just pulled a swerve. And because if I was the crowd, I'd play right into it. I would go with this guy. But the WWE Universe is really making this all confusing as well. And I'm going to say they screw everything up because they're just a bunch of little smarks that think they know everything in and out. But here we are. We know exactly what to do. This is what you should do. Hell, they should have just put us all in creative, instead they got a bunch of monkeys sitting in the gorilla position. So, but
exactly.
I'm just going to call this the path of destruction. It was nothing more than crush 'em and an accolade. Sin Cara, don't quit your day job.
No.
Either ask to go back to the Hunico name, which would be painful because then everyone will realize, oh, well, he has the same tattoo as Sin Cara. Oh, I see what they did there. But yeah, this right here, this is just a painful match to watch. Very quick squash match. Your winner, Rusev. Let's go ahead and get your thoughts, Charles.
Oh, Sin Cara. Where's Rey Mysterio Jr. when you need him?
He probably dropped two.
Yeah, right. I mean, classic squash match. Over in a blink. Highlight of the match was Lana screaming at ringside, getting emotional.
I get emotional, but you know, it's
yeah.
that's how it is.
I feel your pain, see. I feel your pain, see.
Hashtag I ran out of hashtags.
Yes.
Hashtag someone stole mine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, you know how it is, man. It's just she's awesome. Some people see her as a symbol. I see her as a great valet who's controlling a superhuman.
Absolutely.
And she does it very well. And I'm just curious, how much longer till they break away from this gimmick? How long till he's on his own? Because sooner or later he's gonna have to learn how to cut promos by himself and not have to rely on her anymore. It's all within the WWE's distance of what they want to do. I just hope they do the right thing sooner or later. But yeah, I'll take it to you, Brick. How'd you feel about this match?
Just like the promo with Lana, that's it, really. The match was a squash match, and then you got Big E coming out defending our country for us. But,
That's right. I keep forgetting about Big E.
Yeah, he defended our country, saying that we work hard, to put food on the table and all that shit. So yeah, it was good. Sorry.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and give it to you, Austin.
Not much to say about this match. You know, squash. It had to have been at least a 45-second squash match. Promo was good. I still like that they're using Vladimir Putin in the promos.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The guy's a great leader. He's a former KGB member. He's got a huge history. On top of that, you know, the guy has done things that not many leaders actually do. And, you know, we used to have guys like that back in the day. We used to have presidents that were in the military that were either, you know, special forces or they actually ran a small army. And now today, you don't get that. You got guys that dodged the draft and guys that never served and guys that aren't even American from a certain perspective. And we're the laughing stock of the, you know, the whole entire planet. And it's all because of some BS stuff that's going on in the world. So, of course, we're going to have Vince go out there and make an example out of it and end up giving us the reverse logic of we're supposed to take a dump on it, but at the same time, we're supposed to be patriotic. So that's the only thing I respect about this whole thing. But, you know, hey, it is what it is. Lion Claw.
Yeah, another good promo by Lana and you know, typical, you know, like what we used to been seeing. Sin Cara, yeah, that kind of hurt. You know, he got squashed like a cucaracha or something. I mean, he just got green, for real. And then Big E sounding like a preacher. I mean, is that going to be his new gimmick now, like a Southern preacher?
Yeah.
So, I mean, they do have a match which actually might be, I would hope, might be better than the first one that they had.
Yeah, exactly. I can't wait to see who they're going to put him up against other than Big E now that they're starting to. You need big guys to go against this guy. I mean, other than that, this guy's going to end up dominating most of the roster. He's going to be.
Unless it's Cena.
See, now that right there, I mean, it'd be a great match, but at the same time, everyone knows the whole routine with Cena. You know, Brick, you posted in our group earlier.
Yeah, the 8
reasons to hate Cena, and it's just, you know, and it's absolutely true. He's been through the whole roster, and he's gone through the roster again and again.
30 times.
And I must say, it gets annoying seeing him, you know, go against guys like this. This right here would kind of remind you of like a Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant type thing, except this guy's not really a giant, but he's a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Or we could even say Hogan versus Warrior, because this guy is just a super athlete. I just want to see him go against other guys. They need to start bringing bigger guys from from outside in either the indies or pardon me there, or even in the sports division. You got guys from the NFL that are starting to come into wrestling because they've accomplished too much, either sitting on the bench or being a defensive lineman for how many years. They get a good workout out of it, but at the same time they feel lazy because they're only doing one single thing. Now they want to be more active, so they get into this business. Bring some guys in from the outside, train them, and had them, pit them against this guy. Regardless if they win or lose, that's one thing. But to see them work against a guy at that size and that caliber would make that match a little bit more worthwhile. I mean, come on. I'm a fan. I am an analyst. I watch and I spectate. I can even over-speculate this. And the thing is, how much will the WWE listen to of hearing that right there? I mean, Triple H, he's listening to us. He even said in this promo earlier, we had the golden era. We had, I forget what that other era was, and then he brought in the attitude era. And then he brought in the ruthless aggression. Now we got the reality era, So at least they're paying attention to that right there. We had them eras, and now we got, now they need to listen to what else we got to say. The more they listen to us, the more I respect and appreciate what they're doing. Other than that, if they're going to just use guys like Zack Ryder and Hunico or Sin Cara, or I would say JTG, but he's no longer employed. So
that's real bad for him. I mean,
JTG didn't have the luxury.
Comeback.
Yeah, JTG had no luxury on facing this guy, so I'm glad he was sitting in the back finally for once. It's bad enough they jobbed out Kofi and Rick James. I mean Xavier Woods and R-Truth. This is their time right now. So, but right now I hope Big E does succeed against him at Money in the Bank. But the way we all know how the pattern goes, the person with the one up prior to the pay-per-view is the one that's basically going to job. So who knows? We can even get Swerve because that's how the WWE works. They are the king of swerves now. But we'll go ahead and get into this main event. My God, this was incredible. Pretty much another Roman Reigns single competition match. Now that they are far apart from the Shield now, which is great. I'm glad they split them up. It was kind of a quiet way of doing it too. No one expected it to happen. But Roman Reigns, he still wears the Shield gear, so he believes in Roman Reigns. He comes out from the crowd. He still has the old Shield theme without the Shield name in it. But his opponent tonight was Kane. Worked a very solid match. I was impressed by his body slam on Kane. It's not often you can see someone, even at that size, some people would still struggle. This guy, just like Cesaro, raw strength. Very impressive. He hit the Superman punch on Kane. Had pretty much good set of offense in there. These guys really worked each other over. I would like to see a little bit more, especially with Kane being the veteran that he is, and Roman Reigns. He's 2 years into the WWE there, up in the big leagues, coming straight from FCW and NXT. You couldn't ask for anything more. Everyone said this guy isn't ready. I think he's ready now. We saw Randy Orton come out, interfere, causing a disqualification. It was to be expected. Who did you really want to see Kane win that match? We wanted to see Roman Reigns go ahead and pick up the victory, so they gave it to him, the wrong way. Afterwards, Kane and Orton pretty much give him a nice little beat down. Kane comes in with a ladder as Orton goes up and retrieves both of the titles. And then we see Orton going around, taunting around with, I thought he was going to get chokeslammed by Kane. I figured Kane would want them, but as we're pretty much seeing now, the purpose of Kane being in the Money in the Bank is not for him to win. It's for him to protect Randy Orton from losing. And it's incredible that they're doing that. We've seen stuff like this in the past, So, but there's that possible swerve, We could see him, okay, he's going to hold that, and maybe he's going to change his mind. Inside he'll click. He'll be like, maybe I want to be the champion, and he'll start climbing up, and we'll see Orton and Kane at the top throwing punches at each other. and Orton will have no idea what to do while he's doing it. He's just like, how am I supposed to take this big man down? And then we could see someone else, like Roman Reigns or Bray Wyatt, pick it up. And, you know, I was thinking about Charles's idea earlier where he was talking about if Bray wins those two straps, man, and he comes out and Raw the next night, dude, that sits in my head now. I think a lot of people would agree with what you said too, because that's some legit shit right there. But yeah, you know, overall, great match, great way to end it, because we also seen Roman Reigns spear both men, and he was holding both titles up high and high and proud. Maybe we could see him win the titles. You know, him holding them belts like the way he did was actually pretty cool. I wouldn't mind. It reminded me of The Rock for some reason. You know, they're both cousins. I saw The Rock.
At least he could hold the titles, unlike Daniel Bryan. It looks like he's gonna fall down on his shoulder.
I mean, they need a new face. I mean, it's nothing against Daniel Bryan. I would love him to be champion again, but I don't see him being World Heavyweight Championship material anymore. I hate to say it, I'm going to have to knock him down. U.S. or IC title would be his range now. And it's sad to say that to a guy that worked his way all the way up to WrestleMania. He went through so much BS to become champion multiple times. He's, 4 times now of being a champ?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, because he cashed it in a couple of years back. And then, of course, he lost it to Sheamus. And then afterwards, it's just... And then, of course, he wins against Cena, loses, or gets stripped of it. And then a month later, he gets it again, and the same BS. And now here it is again. He wins at Mania, and now he can't even defend it. So he's in between that rock and a hard place. And like they've been saying, his condition has got worse. So the nerves there, over the time. We're going to have to do a roundtable. Maybe we could do a roundtable, I don't know, maybe Sunday before the pay-per-view. We can do predictions. I would love to do that. But yeah, overall, like I said, this match was great, tremendous, ended in DQ. Expect it for a pay-per-view like this, just to prove a point who wants to be champion more. But with that being said, let's go ahead and give it to you guys and get your thoughts in this match, starting with you, Charles.
It was a good match. I touched on it earlier with Reigns and God, who was he wrestling? Kane in the match tonight. Again, like Bray Wyatt and Sheamus, it's 2 guys that we haven't seen paired up together a whole lot. So there's an unfamiliarity as far as the combination, and then maybe an unfamiliarity between the two. But it came out well because they worked well together. 2 bigger guys. It's real sketchy going in if you're going to get a good match. The good thing is with Reigns and with Kane as well, you have 2 bigger guys that are really athletic. Man, Roman Reigns just keeps getting better and better and better. I can see this guy as a world champion. And to kind of second what CM said, we do need a new face, and not a face like Cena, but we need a face that the crowd loves, and the crowd loves a face with an edge. And I think Roman Reigns is that guy.
Absolutely. Give it to you, Brick.
Oh yeah, it was a good match. I really enjoyed it. I'd like to actually see them 2 go at it again, with no interference, just straight up a wrestling match. But it was good. I mean, of course, Randy Orton's going to interfere in the match because, Kane was about to get finished off. But I mean, Roman Reigns holding the 2 titles. I really enjoyed that. I think it might happen.
Hey, I just want to see something positive come out of this match. I just want to see this. We had one crap pay-per-view a couple weeks ago. Last weekend we had basically the WrestleMania and the Indies, and now tomorrow night or Sunday night we're going to see an in-your-house style pay-per-view. And with the small build-up they have on certain things and the large build-up on the other stuff, I want to see video packages being brought back up. I want to see strong promos. I want to see strong everything. the way to reach out to the crowd is by going all out as much as possible. And if you don't try to go all out, then you're going to have an unsuccessful pay-per-view. And you don't have to change your wrestling ring to attract the crowd. You need to make the storyline straight. So yeah,
Absolutely.
I'll just say I'll be an even bigger lemon come Sunday night if they screw all this up. But Austin.
Yeah, I thought it was a good match. I mean, I've liked Roman Reigns since his first stint in the WWE. This guy, he's gonna go places, and with tonight, I feel like that just proved it for me. I feel like he's gonna play a major role in left.
Exactly. Lion Claw.
Yeah, just a great match. Roman Reigns, I mean, he does get better every week, and he's real agile. The way he put that Superman punch on Kane, I mean, he just cold cocked him and just laid him out. And then, of course, we knew it. Randy Orton was gonna come and interfere. But when Randy was about to give him the punt, and he just got up and just speared him, and then came up and got Kane too. I mean, hey, we might be seeing the new face of the WWE. You never know.
Hey, you know
Let's
what?
see on Sunday.
The more the better. But yeah, as I said, this is a great show. We're going to call this our final segment here, where we're going to rate what we thought about the show, if there's any improvements that they could have done. But I think everything was self-explanatory. I'm going to give this one a 4 compared to Raw, for the fact that they put on a little bit of a better product. SmackDown is more focused on wrestling than it is storylines, but in those matches, you still see some of the the build up here and there. But yeah, I'm going to give it a 4. So Charles.
Full 2 hours, compact, good action, good promos. All of them were good leadways and teases into the pay-per-view. We ended on a high note with Reigns holding up the belts. They touched on just about everything, kind of like we set up on Raw. Everything was covered, and then tonight everything was recovered and reiterated. I'm going to go 4.5. Stop.
Are you?
All right, Brick.
Yeah, it was a good show. It had a couple of matches I liked. I mean, it just basically built up to the pay-per-view, but I give you like a 4.
No.
All right, Austin.
We got a special guest.
Yes, I have a special
Yes.
guest here. This is the guy that invents the swerve. Do you believe in the swerve still?
Yeah.
He believes in the swerve. Hey,
Excellent.
So,
Oh yeah.
who's going to win the Money in the Bank ladder match Sunday at Money in the Bank? There's John Cena, Kane, Roman Reigns, Bray Wyatt, and a couple other jobbers.
And there's a white guy too.
Yeah, his name is Cesaro.
I know, because I want him.
You want Cesaro to win?
Cesaro.
All right, he's
Excellent.
picking Cesaro.
All
sweet.
right.
Excellent
Yeah.
pick.
All right, high five. All right, now.
At least it wasn't Cena.
So you saw some of SmackDown tonight. Out of 5 stars, how many do you give it? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5?
Yeah.
He's taking his time on counting this one. By the way, for those who don't know this little man, this is my son Seth. The big 4. He gave it a 4 out of 5.
Oh, wow.
This is
Like
Not
father
bad.
and
That's my
son.
boy right there. See, look at
how
it.
I make 4.
Yep, that's how you make 4. Exactly, like the horseman. 4, baby. Nothing more, nothing less. Go back upstairs. I'll start Wubsy back up for you. Okay. Thank you for being a special guest cameo. Yes, we got you. Yep, I got you. Okay. 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 Just stand
man.
by. All right. All right. Lion Claw.
Yeah, solid show. I mean, what more can you expect? The last Raw before, I mean, the last SmackDown, almost a Hogan moment, before the pay-per-view. But yeah, I give it a solid 4. I mean, they covered all the angles and big build-up for the pay-per-view,
Absolutely. You know,
Yeah.
I'm actually preferring SmackDown more than Raw, but the thing is, I don't want to say that too much because next thing you know,
Dad,
they'll
fix
try to
that
find a way.
corn
Yeah, I'll
again.
fix it. I'll fix it later. But yeah, if Vince hears us talk about SmackDown more than Raw, they're going to end up trying to take everything over to SmackDown, and then we're going to be stuck watching the same stuff that we saw on Monday night. But
Yes, that's
and
true.
that's the only thing I try to avoid. I'd rather see less storyline, as this little man here is showing off. Um, he does not want to leave the screen. He wants to be a part of the webcam. You want to? Hey, now I got to ask you one more other question. Are you a lemon or are you a rosebud?
Ooh,
Which one are you, a lemon or a rosebud?
Nothing.
he's thinking about this.
He's nothing right now. You're just Seth, aren't you?
I know.
But hey, man, this is pretty much going to call it, the end of the show. I want to thank you guys for being a part of this.
Yep.
There's going to be no roundtable tomorrow night unless the team show over there wants to cover that. I will not be in town. But be here for Sunday night as we will try to do the roundtable prediction for the pay-per-view. Hold on. And we will go ahead and we will do a post-pay-per-view review. Until then, I'm CM Styles, Charles Smith, Daniel V, Austin, and Brick. This is Destroying Kayfabe, and we will see you guys Sunday night. Good night now.
I got skipped. I'm gonna get SmackDown.